Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. We're good friends with a company out there called Outskirts Press that's bringing some interesting authors out there with phenomenal stories, and we love to talk about some of those stories here on the program. I got Marin Yann with us here on the program. An incredible story. What an epic tale. As a young man growing up in Cambodia during the years of the Vietnam War and immediately after, which was not a great place to be at that time. And Yoram, I really appreciate you being with us here today. First of all, what's the name of your book?
The name of my book is called The Last One.
The Last One. And what was the idea behind that book, the title?
Well, the last one is the idea behind that because I am the only survivor in my entire family.
Correct.
So,
go ahead.
I'm the last person to survive in my entire family.
And just kind of give us a little bit of that story. It's an incredible story. I only got to read parts of it. That's why, and I believe that the book would be extremely compelling reading. Kind of give us an overview of the book.
Well, this book is about my survival as an orphan child in Cambodia. At 6 years old, I lived without any relatives or any parents at all, and I was be able to survive. In order for me to survive, I have to catch snake, grasshopper, centipedes, and anything that's edible, in order to survive. And I was almost, got killed a couple times by the Khmer Rouge, who were chasing after me during that period, and I always starving, in fear, of being killed by the communist Khmer Rouge.
Yeah. So let's just kind of, I'll ask you some detailed questions. By the way, now, it's a very, very, I would say a happy ending. He's in Long Beach, California. He has a bachelor's in criminal law and a master's in public administration. And what kind of work do you do now, Marin?
I am a community organizer. What I do is to have the community, to prevent underage drinking in the community. Yes, and help the community improve their lives.
Awesome, very good. Let's talk about the story. What year were you born?
To be honest with you, I don't remember what year I was born because I have no one to tell me what year I was born.
Do you have a kind of a vague idea, though?
Well, the vague idea is I believe it was 1970. In 1970.
Wow. And so you were really little when the Khmer Rouge took over. What year was that? 75, 74?
In April 1975.
Yeah, 75.
According to history books and newspaper account, and they ruled the country until January 1979.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was the longest 4 years in Cambodia's history. I think 20% of all Cambodians lost their life under that reign. Maybe you're not sure. Okay, so let's go back to your story. So, 5 years old when this took place, what happened to your family?
Well, my family, my father was taken away by the Khmer Rouge, and he never returned. And my mother was died from illness in the hospital in front of me. And my younger brother was died from starvation and illnesses. And my older sister, she was separated, from the family to live with a girl group about her age. And oftentimes I see her, a little bit here, a little bit there. And then at the end, when the Vietnamese took over, I could not find her. We were separated again. And that was the last time that I saw her. So that's why I don't have anyone. Yeah,
absolutely. So how did you get to the United States?
Oh, I got into the United States because I live with several adopted families, and fortunately, one of the family was enroll me in a document to adopt me as a real family. She claimed me as her younger brother, and then we applied to the United States. And when we come to the United States, we have a sponsor. His name is Mr. Luke, who lives in Utah. He is an Australian American who lives in Utah, Salt Lake City, and he sponsors to the United States. And I really thank him for sponsors to the United States.
Okay. And what year did that take place?
That was in 1984, late 1984. I did not remember the exact date. Probably, I believe it was November 27.
Okay. So tell me what the gist of the book. What, obviously it tells your story. Are there any lessons or thoughts or ideas that you're trying to convey in there for the reader?
Well, there's four things that I'd like to say to the reader. I would say that this story would make reader laugh. This story would make the reader cry. And this story is also inspire people to hang on to life in spite of their worst situation or in spite of their desperate situation. And also, this story would help reader learn on how to be creative in order to survive in the worst situation and in the worst environment.
Awesome.
So that you can learn from a 6 years old, how he lives, how he survived, as in the jungle, in different situation. It was one of the worst situations, and I was be able to survive and get out of the situation.
Marin, I got to wrap it up. Marin Yann, great guest. Thanks for being with us. The book is called The Last One, An Orphan Child Fights to Survive the Killing Fields of Cambodia. What a compelling story. Thanks for spending time talking to us about it. You can learn more about the book, outskirtspress.com/The Last One. Outskirtspress.com/The Last One. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, we're going to have more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there, and I'm sure you'll find this interview as well here in the days to come at usdailyreview.com. You're listening to The Price of Business.